I don't know what the hell happened. That pisses me off. It did not give me any problems until now. What the hell? Can I hear myself again? Is it working?
Can I hear myself?
There we go. Sorry about that, everyone. We lost a little bit of story because for some weird reason it broke. Lame. Well, anyways, Fortune Note's leading me to the Ragnarok. I forgot exactly what I was talking about, but oh well. Crap baskets. I don't know why it broke, and it pisses me off. Oops, I shouldn't even have that on. Thank God it's not in the cutscene. We're to wait here while our father arranges for us to use the next lift. I have to keep an eye on this thing. Here being Logisticon Alpha, where the atmospheric conditions of Labyrinthos are regulated. Water is drawn from underground and dispersed as vapor, stimulating the formation of artificial clouds and rain. By manipulating the temperature and air circulation, they are able to create the ideal environment for the growth and preservation of the biological samples kept here. Hold on, how do you know so much about it? Why, Father brought me here as a child. What? And left me behind. Excuse me. Actually, you're the one who left me behind when you went off somewhere with Grandfather. The night before, I'd been asking Father how clouds are made, so he decided to show me. It was fascinating. I peppered him with questions the entire time. 'Tis all too easy to take for granted the many interweaving aspects of the natural world, to grow inured to the wondrous. But having gained an understanding of the complex mechanisms employed by the Loporrits in recreating a similar environment, I have come to view such processes in a new light. The subterranean gardens of Labyrinthos, the lunar prison forged to contain the ancient Zodiarch, the habitations built for all mankind neath the moon's surface, each unique yet undeniably similar. 'Tis no mere coincidence. Blech. Ever since Heidelin unfolded to us the grim fate that awaits Aetheris, every essential resource we could spare has been delivered to Labyrinthos in preparation for the Great Exodus, but that is not all. It is also a testing ground for the technologies that will allow us to settle on distant stars. Though the Loporrits have endeavored to make the moon inhabitable, that is not our final destination. Mankind must learn to propagate life where there is none, and to thrive where all is barren. Alas, time is not on our side. I have arranged for you all to enter the Central Circuit. It is there that most of our preparations for the Great Exodus are carried out, the construction of the Ark among them. Though our plans have been made public, access remains highly restricted. You, however, will not be subjected to said restrictions, and will have free reign to come and go as you please, such is the will of the Forum, after all. We will prove ourselves worthy of their trust, your trust. Then let us proceed. So I'm going to have to go ahead and let this go for a while, because I don't know when it cut off, sadly. We're going to turn that off for now. By decree of the Forum, the Signs of the Seventh Dawn are permitted to enter the Central Circuit. Yes, we're going to proceed there. Ah, cool. It's sunny again. And we're in the central area, so we're very, very deep down. The Aether Burner is being constructed not far from here. Overseeing the work is Kokol Denkel, after whom the forge is named. Once the necessary introductions have been made, I shall leave you with him to discuss the particulars. This way. I love it that we have the entire group together. Tasty, tasty XP. Ah, it is called Kuckel's Forge. And sadly there's no Aether Shard here. Alrighty.
I could swap them out. No, been there, done that. Down there, lost me eyebrows. Think, Coco, think! We'd be well on our way to paradise. Visionaries patting themselves on the backs for their grand accomplishments if you'd only think!
Yes, that does sound rather lovely.
Yeah! I mean, Master Force, you know, what a pleasant surprise. We're not blasting off already, are we?
The schedule remains unchanged, for better or worse. Which is why the Forum has elected to accept assistance in resolving the Ether Burner conundrum.
Not seen you lot down here before.
There are Archons among their number, but engineering is not their expertise. Nevertheless, the Forum concedes the slim possibility that they may have insights to offer. If not, you are at liberty to return them to the surface, by whatever means you see fit.
Oh, that's kind of rough.
I assure you that won't be necessary. Now, about your troubles with the Ether Burner.
Aye, aye, I'll walk you through it. Suppose I could do with a change of pace. As the name ought to tell you, the Ether Burner burns ether, ambient or otherwise, and transforms it into motive force. Think of it like a giant bomb that never stops exploding. Even out in that black void where the ether's right sparse, it's strong enough to move our arc. And it probably won't kill you like an actual bomb. But it ain't perfect. According to my calculations, to travel to the moon and back fast enough for the Forum's liking, the conversion rate needs to be 6% more efficient.
Just 6? Wow.
A measly 6%, you say? But if I could have squeezed even another 0.6 out of it, don't you think I'd have built it that way in the first place?
Hast thou consulted with the Loperites?
Yes, they too are conducting their own research, for lack of a ready answer. The moon's propulsion systems are considerable, naturally, yet they are commensurately massive. It is no easy feat to convert their technology into an efficient means of propulsion for a teeny tiny toy boat, as they say, and as I most certainly do not.
Yes, exactly! Damn it all, I asked for refined adamantite and they send me uppity rabbits with inscrutable, ancient, incompatible technology! You're trying to drive me mad!
Do you speak of Allegan refined adamantite, perchance?
You know of it?
Only in the most general terms, I'm afraid. 'Twas an alloy of Allegan make, but the secrets of its production were closely guarded. As I recall, the record stated it was vital to Dalamud's construction and launch.
Aye, that's the stuff. No material more conductive far as I know. Slotting some in's like blowing up a dam and watching the river of ether come rushing through. Ain't a living soul that knows how to make it, though. We were fortunate enough to salvage some for the ether burner, just a wee bit, mind, from a chunk of Dalamud that came hurtling into the Northern Empty during the calamity.
Got a cart now.
With more, well, that extra 6% efficiency would be child's play. It's a crying shame that we've no other sources.
Surely the many shards of Dalamud scattered throughout Eorzea would suffice. Why not get the refined adamantite from them?
Oh, we tried, believe you me. But only a few specialised pieces would have had any in them to begin with.
Never mind. Ooh, wait.
Drive calls from Ragnarok class internment hulks. Those are the prize bits we really need.
I know of one.
According to the Gleaners, getting to them means delving deep into the shards. And the defences are still very operational and very eager to blow them up. It's rough going in there, even for the cream. I'm sure they'd make it out alive.
You want me to go and fetch the whatsits? This sounds like a job for someone else.
Oh, very funny. Ha ha.
There are multiple internment hulks in Eorzea alone, so handling this ourselves may not be the most efficient option. Rather, if we could salvage adamantite from the shards simultaneously... Thancred, is the link shell we established before you went to Garlemald still active?
Of course. The floor is yours. What's all this?
Gathering firewood, so to speak. We alone can accomplish little, but joined by others, we may yet build a bonfire to carry us heavensward. This is Alphino. The Scions have need of you.
That was a
Understood.
callback.
I will contact the Lord Commander and dispatch our finest at once.
My sisters are somewhat preoccupied with the final days, so I will lead the 12-Sword expedition myself.
Are you aware of any other sources of refined adamantite?
I can think of one.
Logically, such an invaluable alloy would have been utilized solely where absolutely necessary, in components intended to conduct or collect surpassing amounts of ether. Any extant instrumentation or devices would have likely found their way into the hands of etherologists or enthusiasts.
Magical artifacts of Allagan design? The Eastern Alliance will send word to one and all. Are there other ways we may offer aid? No shards of the Lesser Moon scar our soil, but our stake in this cause is no less for it.
Is there anything in Othard that might be of use to you?
What did you say? Oh, you got friends in far places, lad. Any road, if you're offering, I wouldn't say no to one of those Far Eastern sacred relics. Some of them can hold enough ether to summon a whole damn primal. Combine a source night pack with the ether burner, and 3, 2, 1, kaboom!
He likes his explosives. I think he's like a kindred spirit.
I gather you heard his explosive enthusiasm. Might you secure us a suitable relic?
It shall be done. I know little of machines, but I promise we will do our utmost to gather the materials you need to finish your starship. I am glad for the work, in truth. Better to busy oneself than wait and fret over disasters foretold.
Then why are we all still standing about yapping? There's plunder for the taking. And I'm a born plunderer. I'll be an old Charlian before you know it. Start mixing the grog.
I'm certain that can be arranged. Thank you all, and do be careful.
Just like that.
Aye, just like that. Our refined adamantite is on its way. Now let us consider our next steps, shall we? There's yet much to be done.
Someone seeing the error of their ways. It's times like these we're reminded of how famous or infamous Alphino has become. Who'd have thought he could achieve so much with a single link pearl conversation? As we're expecting rather a lot of visitors in the near future, I'd best return to the surface and inform the relevant parties. I also have a contract of my own that might be worth a try, or contact of my own that might be worth a try. Oh, and who might that be? That's for me to know and you to find out. And on that note, I leave matters here in your capable hands. Best of luck. Meanwhile, in Ul'dah. Oh. The final day is coming to Ul'dah. Never mind.
Our course of action is clear. We must harvest refined adamantite from the shards of Dalamud and procure arcane relics of Allagan make. Summon the best and brightest of our immortal flames and form an expeditionary party at once. Call upon the Sultan Sworn and Brass Blades for support as you must. Papashan, send word to the guilds. We will require the expertise of master artisans if we are to have any hope of identifying and recovering these elusive materials. Thiergeist, we have need of your stone torches. They are to assist the immortal flames in scouring the ruins and to help secure the surrounding areas. I trust I can count on your support.
As commander of the Stone Torches, my son Zimberk will personally see it done.
Pippin, I would have you lead the raiding party. Assemble your finest, and with Tizona's blade clear the way. Lord Lolorito, I pray you take charge of the search for Allagan relics. Surely you know of some being traded on open or clandestine markets, or sleeping in collectors' vaults. Of course, I ask not that you do this out of the kindness of your heart. By all means, profit on the transactions. I wish you the joy of it.
That's to keep him motivated.
The final days descend upon our world. If circumstances are truly as dire as they say, Ul'dah's best efforts may be for naught. And yet, when we Eorzeans rose from the ashes to rebuild our broken realm, did we not learn one simple truth? That which seems all but impossible to overcome alone may yet be possible if we stand together. It was the Scions who united us then, and it is the Scions who call upon us now. Ul'dah will answer that call. We will summon our courage and join the fight for our world's future. You know your duties. I, Nanamo Ul'Namo, 17th in the line of Ul, bid you good luck and Godspeed.
Meanwhile, in the Black Shroud. Oh, I guess we're gonna go to all the areas. I already fixed the Black Shroud, though. Gleipnir's done. Tis the God's Quiver. And the Wood Whalers.
We fielded a goodly number, but our ranks are heavy with healers, and an abundance of restorative magics will be of little help in destroying Dalamud's defenses. Still, it has ever been thus with Gridania. We must steel ourselves for a protracted engagement.
Ah, yes. Lise is going to come in and help.
In that case,
Might I suggest taking us along?
Oh, Monago's there too.
Commander Hext, what are you doing here?
None of the shards in Girabania are big enough to hold an internment hulk. So we said to ourselves, why not lend our neighbors a hand? We thought you might be short on people with a talent for breaking things.
While it pains me to admit it, you are right. Our deficiency so plain to see.
Lise was with Papalimo back in the day, and they did have Gridania as their sphere of influence.
It might have been a lifetime ago, but I was once one of the scions assigned to the Shroud.
Case in point.
I know this forest well. I know your people. And I know we will be stronger if we fight this fight together.
I miss Papalimo.
Then I will impose upon you with a clear conscience. Come, let us speak of how to integrate our forces.
I like Lisa's hairstyle minus the side bang.
I won't let it all be for nothing. I promise you, Papalimo.
I think I've said that before, though. I miss a lot of characters in this game. Hoshafont, meanwhile, in Kurthus. Of course, I mentioned Hoshafont right when they talk about Kurthus. Damn it. Oh, no. They're going to his grave. I'm already tearing up.
There you are. We've no time to waste, brother. Everyone has already... A dragon's roar!
Meanwhile, in the Ruby Sea. Hancock.
And so, in summation, the Eastern Alliance, as well as the Honourable Lord Lolorito himself, reached out to me for assistance in procuring these treasures of the divine, and I, in turn, do beseech the Confederacy for aid.
It's a Kojin.
Hmm? Is that...
Hancock? What a surprise this is. And a fortuitous one at that. I have a favor to ask, you see.
No job too small. Though our friends are searching for refined adamantite and sacred relics, we will only know if they meet your requirements once they have arrived. In the meantime, is there aught else we might do to be of service? Ha, you've already done more than enough. If I had to say, though, I could use someone who knows a thing or two about Alagon technology. You there, the lad with the red eyes and matching hair. You seem to know more than the average scholar. Ha, if only Master Kokol knew how right he was. While he and Graha established a report, why don't we help with preparations for the Great Exodus? Indeed, this would mean going above and beyond the terms of our arrangement, but I propose this is not to curry this not to curry favor. As confident as I am that we will succeed, we must be ready for every eventuality. This would also be an opportunity to familiarize ourselves with the logistics of traversing the Great Expanse, and if nothing else, it beats twiddling our thumbs while we wait for the adamantite. Well, ain't you a bunch of helpful buggers? If you've a mind to lend a hand, I know where you ought to go. Charlie and Hamlet is lousy with researchers and scholarly types, busying themselves preparing for the Exodus. Pah! That lot need all the help they can get. Well then, off we go. Well, since we're getting close to the end of the regular MSQ, so I might not be as far boosted as normal when I get to Dawn Trail. Right now I'm almost 1 1/4 levels into Dawn Trail level. Max is 100 right now. Not going to be that much of a lead. I've pretty much caught up Summoner and Scholar. I just needed to get Astrologian caught up. Then I'll have all of my team set up. I'll have a healer, a tank, and a DPS. Oh, I have 2 healers, a tank, and a DPS. I'm going over here just so I can get the Aetherite. We'll do the whole long way around just so I can get the map fixed too. I hope they let me. Okay, good. Sweet. Alright, I'm attuned to that Aetherite now. So this is the medial, and that's the lower one. So there is a way to get lower, so you'd be even further down, but that's going to be a little bit later. As you'll surmise, that's where Ragnarok is at. The arc. Not this arc that I'm riding, though. I wish I could speed up my mount speed. I could if I could fly, but you still can't get all the Aether Currents yet for this area. That'll be something I'll have to do before I get the post started. So that way I can fly in all areas. So that way I can run around in all areas. My first thing first, though, is like as soon as I get the regular MSQ done, I am going to farm a buttload of Poetics, and I'm getting a full augmented credendum set for my warrior. I believe it's 650 or 640, somewhere around there for the augmented credendum. It won't be a huge, massive boost, but it'll be enough of a boost to carry me for a while. And I'll probably stick the axe on, probably put the axe in my wardrobe. Or if anything, I'll just give it to my retainer. That one I can do. Get him to 90 and then put that on him. I don't need to have a constant duplicate set for him. Pardon me, sorry, I didn't mean to yawn in y'all's ears. From what I can tell, a lot of the people actually live down here. I don't know how much help we can offer, but I dare say they'll benefit from some of that fresh inspiration Scholar Montaigne mentioned. Let's start by asking around, ideally without getting in anyone's way. Let's meet by the Aetheryte once our work is done. Get that jog on early. Jog on. Steady current. Oh no, I just remembered. Helping with the arc, even with the power Master Cookles managed to squeeze out of the Aether Burner, it's still not enough apparently. And now I hear the final days have arrived. Horrible creatures running rampant all over. Ugh, if only we'd begun the exodus sooner. People are dying and there'll be no end to it if we don't fulfill our duties. But we will. We spent years preparing for this moment, believe in the plan, and all will be well. My nose is itching. I might sneeze soon. Offering to help, that's very kind, but I should be able to organize the rest of the documents by myself. It's mostly lists of the things we'll need once we arrive on the moon, and then whichever star we choose as our new home. My duties largely concern the maintenance of living conditions, so I'll be a lot busier after we depart. I hear that our Luna collaborators have come down to assist in our efforts. I'm looking forward to finally meeting them in person, after having communicated with them in such a limited capacity thus far. To be perfectly honest, I've not even the slightest idea what they look like. I do hope they're not enormous, looming giants. Why, I would much prefer something small and fluffy, like that beheaded rabbit that ran by. Well, suffice it to say, you inadvertently met one of the Loperates. Alright, I gotta hook back this way. I've got one more person to chit-chat with, and they're probably, yeah, Silken Grin. Oh, hello. Are you one of the new helpers? Working on the Aether Burner. Oh dear, I hear things have come to a standstill on that front. Even so, I'd choose that over my current duties. Checking and loading samples day in, day out. It's tiring, thankless work. Still, no one will be cross if I misplace a few legumes or what have you. The forum's got enough on their plate as it is, what with deciding who gets to board the Ark and when. A lot of powerful people have opinions about that. My heart goes out to Master Fortunal and all the others. Hardly get a moment's rest, I expect. Do they even have time to sleep? I've already grabbed the Aetheryte, so we could just go ahead and go straight to it. I think I'm just missing the Aetherites for the last zones now. Fancy meeting you here, hero. Our friends in the forum brought us to see their teeny tiny toy boat, which was quite impressive considering they didn't use any creation magics. What we're really interested in is Aetheris itself, though. We now find ourselves in a sort of a funny underground miniaturized version of it. We were hoping the forum would give us a guided tour, but it appears they're rather preoccupied, honestly. All that time to prepare and they're still not ready. I suppose we'll just have to show ourselves around, or at least that's what we were planning to do until we chanced upon Orion J and your good self. Since you're both dawdling about, engaging in idle chit-chat, perhaps you should show us a few points of interest. Won't that be fun? Wise guides. A tour of Labyrinthos, an unexpected yet prudent suggestion. Given the similarities betwixt this artificial environment and Bestway's burrow, 'twould be in our best interest to have the Loperates acquaint themselves with those conditions deemed optimal by their Charlian collaborators. I fear, however, that continued reliance upon my limited knowledge would risk narrowing rather than broadening their perspectives. Mayhap thou art better suited to lead this venture. What a marvelous idea! Might we begin with that great big what's-it over yonder? Ah yes, the what's-it. I shall leave its explanation to the hero. Oh, lovely. Ooh, someone bought my ametrine. Sweet. Goodness me. To build something so large without creation magics is positively stupendous. Perhaps you could direct our attention to its most important features. Search the apparatus for points of potential interest. You may move the camera as well as zoom in and out. Target an area and inspect with R2/X. It's a little hard to see from here, but is that a golden pipe connected to the top of those tanks? And I can see through that window another pipe at the bottom. Ah, these must be for purifying water drawn up from below. Is that water I hear from inside that great big tube? It must be because of those cogs and that gigantic wheel at the top. Oh, I see. That's how they draw up the water. There's probably some sort of spiral-shaped mechanism inside it, too. That looks like the trees in Greatest Endsvale. Hold on. That's a bit of a strange shape. It's thin at the bottom, but big and rounded at the top. Quite tall for something so unbalanced, too. Now it makes sense. That's where they store the water. Well, if I were to hazard a guess, water drawn from underground, presumably with some other mechanism, is purified here and stored in that tower before being distributed elsewhere. I'm right, aren't I? I knew it. A design brilliant in its simplicity. I dare say it would take only a moment to install in even the harshest of environments, for us slopperets, that is. Indeed, securing a reliable source of water is of the utmost importance for any fledgling settlement. We have read, however, that peoples of Ethera sometimes make their homes in arid deserts and such. How are they able to survive? Many settlements in Downland are built near an oasis. Areas near waterfalls are common sites for villages in Giribania. We'll do oases. So wherever you choose to live, you're never far from water. Oh dear, I worry we won't be able to procure the necessary amount. We can provide enough water to keep them from drying out completely, but it would appear they rely on it far more than we'd anticipated. A few adjustments may be in order, once we've calculated the average rate of consumption per individual. It may also be worth learning more about how exactly they obtain their water in the first place. Master Alphados spoke to the machinery responsible for that feat during our journey through Logisticon Alpha, did he not? Mayhap the Lopritz will share his appreciation for the engineering marvel. Oh yes, that sounds absolutely splendid. We must journey beyond the sanctuary of Charlie and Hamlet. I shall lead the way. You mean we'll have to brave the untamed wilderness? A valid concern indeed. We cannot help but notice the many dangerous-looking creatures with big nasty teeth lurking beyond the safe confines of the settlement. Were we not escorted here by burly custodians, I dread to think what would have become of us. Regrettably, to many a hungry predator with the aforementioned big nasty teeth, Lopritz may appear to be a potential and rather appetizing source of sustenance. Might I impose upon thee to assist in securing safe passage to Logisticon Alpha? For my part, I shall act as your escort to Living Way and Cooking Way. I entrust Singing Way and Growing Way to thy care. Count on me. A more valiant protector they could not wish for. Godspeed. Yeah, I have little operate followers now. If it's all the same to you, I'd rather not be eaten by some horrid beastie. Come along, growing way, to the water extraction what's it? Alrighty, let's go ahead and continue. Oh, I love cutting huge swaths of HP off of my enemies, so I'm just gonna stun you. So thank you so much. I really hope this water extraction what's it is worth these harrowing experiences. All part of the fun, some might say, but I'd rather not be burnt to a crisp if it's all the same to you. I gotta talk with the guildies for a second. Where is it? There it is. My friends, I bid you welcome to Logisticon Alpha. Our destination doth lie at the lift's top. Pray follow me. You will need to use this lift should you wish to go to the medial circuit. Let me know if you are headed that way. I think we're going this way. Marvelous, simply marvelous. So this is where the magic, or science rather, takes place. The perfect environment to sustain life, artificially created. The knowledge we'll gain here will be essential when we start looking for new stars for your kind to inhabit. Apparently most of them don't even have air for you to breathe. You're all very lucky that Aetheris just so happens to provide everything you need to thrive. Or did mankind turn out that way because the way they are because of the available resources, I wonder. Either way, it's nothing short of miraculous, and I cannot wait to see more of it. Agriculture shock. This is all very wonderful, I'm sure, but I was rather hoping to learn more about your nourishment provision facilities. In other words, where's the food? I believe both the knowledge and consumables you seek may be found at Merail Ergonomics. As I imagine Singing Way and the others intend to study every conceivable facet of this apparatus, wouldst thou be so kind as to escort our visiting culinarian? Yes, that sounds much more interesting. Hopefully, I'll be able to see firsthand some of the delicacies Orion J was telling me about. Even his incredibly vivid, if a bit too verbose, descriptions cannot compare to sampling them myself. Not to mention Aetheris will soon be no more, so I must learn all I can while there's still time. Let us brook no further delay. Give me a second. I gotta delay for a second because I'm trying to get a sleeve of crackers out so I can nom on those in between parts where they have voice acting. So if I go radio silent, that would be meaning that I'm noshing on nourishment myself. That's not a door, is it? Where's the exit? Oh, there it is. This is the place, yes. The heady aroma was enough to guide me here, and I've spotted several of the fruit and vegetables featured in our compendium. I'd dearly love to try some, but I read that those who help themselves to a farmer's crops without permission are often caught and put into pies. Perhaps you could ask whoever's in charge if they would be willing to part with a few samples. Cooking Away is now accompanying you, keep him at your side in order to proceed with quest objectives. You can leave Cooking Way behind by entering a different area or by speaking with him and selecting the option to part ways. If you wish to have Cooking Way accompany you again, return and speak with him at the original location. Yeah. Let's talk. I suppose if they did put me in a pie, I could just eat my way out. Wait, they get quite hot inside, don't they? On second thought, let's stick to the plan for now. Alright, Cooking Way, keep up. What a fine mess this is. It's you, the one who climbed down the mine shaft. I'd show you around if I could, but I'm rushed off my feet preparing for the Exodus. And I'm not the only one. We've all got to find ways to do what we do down here up there, first on the moon, then on whichever star the Forum decides will become our new home. It's all so sudden, so unreal. Don't you want to go to the moon? Well, it's better than waiting for the final days to claim us. But no matter how carefully it's all planned, we'll never be able to take every variety of flora and fauna with us. Even the ones we can take may not survive in their new environment. So many species doomed to extinction. Sorry, that's not what you came to talk about, is it? Nothing quite so dire, I assure you. We merely wish to sample a little of your produce, if we may. By all means, help yourselves. Much appreciated, my good fellow. So, where to begin? We're gonna start with the grapes. Oh, I know what these are. Grapes, yes. Let's see if they are as delicious as they look. So sweet, so sour, the taste is much like a ripe philosopher's carrot, and yet the texture is entirely different. The contrast between the outer skin and the fruit within is most peculiar, though far from unpleasant. Yes, I think I'll try another. Well, that's certainly given me food for thought, though in a far less visceral manner than any philosopher's carrot. But tell me, what is your opinion of grapes? I'd brave an erupting volcano for a choice bunch. Meh, ghastly things. I'd rather eat rancid giganttoad eyeballs. I like grapes. Unfortunately, they don't like me. Yes, they are rather Moorish, aren't they? And from what I've read, quite versatile too. Something about people stepping on them to make intoxicating beverages, as I recall. Anyway, that's enough about grapes for the time being. On to the next treat. Orange by name, orange by nature. What came first, the fruit or the color? Who cares? Let's eat. Yes, that's equal parts sweet and sour as with the grapes, yet nothing alike. I may have to consult Oriange about expanding my vocabulary. I simply cannot find the words to describe it. Tangy. Perhaps what I'm looking for is bitter. This is all very complicated, you know. So many flavors, so many choices, and each individual with their own personal preferences. Now I see why you all turned your noses up at the idea of eating nothing but carrots. Marvelous though they still are in my estimation. Let no one say I said otherwise. But speaking of carrots, I've yet to sample any of the vegetables. Let's see what's in the field over there. Pumpkin? No. Yeah. That color, that texture. Are they some sort of enormous round carrots? No, in any case, proper nomenclature is less of a concern than the taste. Black. It's so hard and flavorless, I may as well be chewing a piece of wood. That all but confirms it. These are nothing more than misbegotten failures masquerading as goodly carrots. Stop, stop, stop. Can't you see these are pumpkins? And no one with any sense would try eating them raw. You're supposed to cook them first. Do you not find it an awful bother? Far from it. Cooking is a joy unto itself. And what's more, it broadens the range of ingredients that we may safely eat. But above all else, cooking allows us to draw out the full potential of our produce. Pumpkin stew has been one of my favorite dishes for as long as I can remember. And perhaps even these hard blocks of plant matter can become as delicious as the orange I sampled. I wonder, though, if there is anything even more delicious. How about that yellow fruit over yonder? Banana? No, it can't be banana. Oh, it's a lemon. What a wondrous fragrance. With luck, it'll have a flavor to match. As I've got no idea how these are eaten, I'll just bite into it. Oof. My tongue! Is this poison? A lemon? You mean it's supposed to taste like this? How could something so similar to an orange be so revolting? It may be some time before my palate recovers from this ordeal. As such, I had best call an end to this round of sampling. Let's say our farewells and return to the others. Finished, have you? I trust you found something to your liking. I'm rather enamored with the grapes and oranges, less so the pumpkin, though I learned the hard way they're not to be eaten raw. Then there was the lemon, the deceiver. I still feel so violated. First time, was it? I'd hate for you to leave with a bad taste in your mouth in more ways than one, so I'll give you this lemon muffin I baked. If this doesn't change your opinion, nothing will. More lemon? Have I not suffered enough? Nevertheless, it would be remiss of me to spurn this opportunity to, oof, bit of sick cat came up there. Learn more of your inscrutable ways. Very well, lemon muffin, do your worst. I think I see a black waltz next to me. This is delicious. Although I still detect a hint of lemon, it complements the sweetness of the dough to create a perfect harmony. I never would have suggested its vile bitterness could be utilized so elegantly. My good chap, this is simply breathtaking. See, we rarely use lemon in its natural state, but it has a starring role in all sorts of recipes, and the same is true for many other ingredients. It comes down to making the most of the resources at our disposal, and sometimes that could even be the difference between life and death. I know we won't be able to take every species with us. No doubt the Forum agonized over what was worth preserving, and what will be consigned to history. Hard choices, but make them we must if we're to survive. It's the strength of will. Now I know what Heidelin sees in your kind. Mankind, Loperates, we were both born from the accumulated knowledge of the ancients. They learned all there is to learn about the nature and sentient life, and the fates of the stars themselves. Once a civilization has fulfilled the basic requirements of survival, it will inevitably seek to eliminate all forms of negativity and achieve perfection, and therein lies its folly and its downfall. But for perfection is an unattainable ideal, to the paradox of the immaculate carrot. Yet civilizations since time immemorial have deemed the pursuit of perfection as progress. They pay no heed to the costs incurred in their futile quests, and all too often become the architects of their own demise, their dreams forever unfulfilled. What then is the alternative? The answer lies in knowing that our existence can never be perfect, to be content with what we have and make the most of it. My OCD causes me to struggle with perfection, or the need thereof. When life gives you lemons, make lemon muffins. Pardon my Eorzean, but what in the seven hells are you on about? And who are you anyway? Cooking away, at your service. I'm here to help prepare for the trip to the moon. And once you get there, you'll be able to try my carrots. I've been growing all different kinds. But don't worry, there'll be room for your crops too. We'll work together to preserve as many of Aetheris' special species as possible, if you're up to the challenge. Yes, of course, I look forward to it. Well, this has all been highly productive, probably. Let's go and see if Orion J and the others have run out of machinery to inspect, shall we? Sure thing. I'm gonna whisper to the person next to me as soon as I pop out if they're still there. Yes, they are. Sentel. If y'all don't know, Black Waltz is one of the enemy bosses in Final Fantasy IX. There was a few of them. I think there was like 3 Black Waltzes. And Ozma is from Final Fantasy IX. My little bouncing riding marble. Ark is also from it, which is my transforming robot companion mount. What am I stuck on? A bush. That was most enlightening, especially the part with the lemon muffin. Actually, I was wondering, do you know of any other places famed for their cuisine? Limsa Lominsa is home to the Culinarians Guild and many less than savory establishments. The Far East has oodles of noodles. There's a lot of places, bro, but I'll check Limsa. Would that I had time to visit. Oh. The more I learned of Aetheris, the more I wish we could spare it from the final days. Alas, Heidelin's orders are to flee, not to resist. If only there was some other way. Sage Council. Hero, I trust thy time at Merail Ergonomics did bear fruit. Our own efforts, too, were rewarded. We now possess an embarrassment of educational riches. No doubt our guests' relentless pursuit of knowledge could occupy them, and us for a fortnight. Alas, time is of the essence. Let us return to Charlie and Hamlet forthwith. I shall gladly attend to each and every Loperate there, should further questions within my power to answer arise. Oh, poor growing way. Oh. Master Fortunal has apprised me of your situation. You may take the lift to the central circuit as you see fit. Pardon me, I was eating it. A little bit. My Mithrite Uchi Katana sold. I wonder who bought it. Cause I threw that up for a hefty, hefty fee. That was the one I was given when I equipped the samurai, or I got the samurai class unlocked. You can craft those too. That one just doesn't have a character signature on it. And you saw how much I sold it for too. It's almost 300 grand. But nevertheless, thank you for buying it, whoever did. I gotta see if this is voice acted. If it is, I'm gonna go ahead and go micless for a second. Aww. What's wrong, little one? Yes, Hero, that was indeed me verbalizing a sigh to express my emotional state. Do you want to know why? Because I saw the reconstructed environmental data for Aetheris at Logisticon Alpha, that's why. A forest so lovely and so leafy. Are all of your forests like that? The Black Shroud is quite leafy indeed, in a place of utmost tranquility. They're verdant, at least. The trees of Dravania stand particularly proud. You see the forest of the first. One was purple. I want to do that. Gasp, I say. With this star so wonderful, it comes as no surprise that you're reluctant to leave it behind. I was a fool to think otherwise, to assume that the moon was something worth being proud of. How ridiculous we must seem to you, trying so hard yet achieving so little. Not at all. Thy works are no less worthy for their uniqueness. I thought I heard tiny voices. Thancred. I don't do tiny voices very well. How didst thou fare? Oh, I was able to glean a fair bit from the researchers while helping to move their cargo. Preparations have proceeded without interruption here despite news of the coming end. We had the forum's leadership to thank for that. Need a drink. That doesn't mean people aren't worried, though. Quite the opposite. Knowing disaster could strike at any moment, they hurry to complete their work, equally aware that a single error could be the difference between life and death. And we can hardly tell them there's no cause for concern. Perhaps not. Though aided by our goodly growing way, we may yet find other ways to lighten their burden. Me? Be of use to people? I'm honored that you'd think me so capable, but I'm not sure that I'm up to the challenge. Nevertheless, I believe in thee. If you say so, I suppose it can't hurt to try. I passed someone moping in the Western Plaza that looked to be in need of a helping paw. Perhaps you might start with him. 'Tis a good place as any. Come. And this is voice acted. I'm going micless. Aw, damn it. Oh, can I help you? It is you who would help me. Is my anxiety truly so obvious? A burden shared is a burden eased. Pray, tell us of any of thy troubles. Those little fellows do look like good listeners. I'm an engineer, you see, and what they say of the ship, that it's the sum of decades of Charlian ingenuity, that it's built with peerless Alagon technology is all true, but... I know, that none of that's guarantee. We've never before launched a starfaring vessel, let alone flown it in the great expanse. All the tests we've run have been on the ground. Only operational personnel and cargo will be aboard for the first voyage, but even so, if it fails us then, what can we do? And if it doesn't, it could fall apart in the next flight, or the one after that. We've done everything we can to prevent that from happening, but it hardly matters. We thought the Aether Burner's design was flawless, too, and look at how that turned out. Thou art familiar with these most daunting technologies, and thus dost thou hold the power to allay his fears. Oh, I'm not sure about that, but, well... Maybe you could tell me if there are any aspects of the ship's design that you're especially worried about. Our ability to walk about and perform our tasks, for one. I've devised a means by which to employ gravity, a spatio-temporal spell, to regulate the environment, but what if it's not strong enough? What if everyone floats away and begins crashing into things as soon as we've left the star? Ah, gravitation. Maybe I can be of help after all. Up there is not so different from down here, you see. The same rules apply, and if you consider them as part of one great big cosmos rather than separate places... And they start debating. I suspect both parties shall find comfort in this conversation. Yet if Thancred's tale be true, still others would benefit from insights born of experience. Might I prevail upon the Loporrits to attend them? An excellent idea, if I do say so myself. There is naught we'd like more than to ease the hearts of the fine people of Aetheris, and learn more about them while we're at it. Full glad am I to hear it. Gather thy companions and bring them hither. Hero, thou hast a gift for finding souls in need of succor. Pray seek thee out the distressed and the apprehensive, and inform them that help is at hand. I shall await them here, that I might introduce each to a suitable Loporrit. Count on me. Oh, I do so look forward to that. A place for every Loporrit and every Loporrit in their place. Alright, I'm taking a little mic break. What am I thinking about? The medical facilities on the ship, of course. I designed them with the assistance of our sages and chirurgians. But to imagine every illness or injury that one might face in that great expanse is beyond any of us. To say nothing of the effect that living out there indefinitely might have on the body. The crew from the moon? Why did I not think of that? Sorry, I'm talking with Gildy. You. Yes, you idiot. Have you seen an envelope lying about? This imbecile refuses to give me the alchemic I ordered without that bloody slip of parchment. Unless your friends have a spell to make me remember where I dropped my damned little envelope, I doubt they would be more help than you, and you've wasted enough of my time already. It would be unfortunate for all involved to inflict this ban upon the Loperates. Alright. Is anything bothering me? Well, I've been loading cargo for bells now, so my back feels like a void sense plated as a piano. My feet and knees as drums and cymbals too. This cleaner seems fine, if in need of a break. Consult our collaborators. I suppose that would be more effective than sitting here brooding. I'm attempting to calculate how much cargo we can consolidate into fewer trips, should the Aether Burner make our original estimates unfeasible, but there are simply too many variables. I feel as if my brow will turn inside out. Perhaps our lunar associates will have more insight into how much weight constitutes too much weight for our purposes. Thank you for letting me know. Wait. I have to check that out. Sorry. 1 second. Manipulation? Oh, I don't have manipulation. Huh. Interesting. My face? What's wrong with my... Ow, perhaps I am a bit tense. I was tasked with ensuring that the proper fauna, and only the proper fauna, are brought with us to the moon. However, the suitability of a few species is still under debate, and I can hardly make the decision myself when I know so little about the environment up there. Including the Loperates in our discussions is a wonderful idea. I absolutely will, thank you. Perhaps their biology itself might offer some clue as well. Alright, so there's gotta be other people around here. Yep. Blasted assistants, where have they gone off to at a time like this? Beg pardon, but I have not the time for idle chit-chat. I need to reconfirm that aether levels are consistent throughout the vessel's machinery, and it seems I shall have to do so single-handedly. I swear, when I find those assistants of mine... The Loperates are willing to help. Why didn't you say so? At least they won't moan about how they checked 24 times already and haven't slept in weeks, lazy sods. By the gods, my chest is tight. Am I dying? Is this what dying feels like? Oh, do pardon me. I didn't see you there. There's no cause for concern, I assure you. No cause for concern. Even though we may need to depart at any moment. And if the hull I designed buckles under the strain, the entire vessel may explode on launch, claiming countless lives and dooming all mankind. But that's highly unlikely. Yes, highly unlikely. Highly. Our visitors can help me triple check for structural flaws, you say? Why, that would be wonderful. I'm breathing more easily already. And he walks off. I need to find 2 more people after this. 56 bunches of weeds in the ground, 56 bunches of weeds. Rip one out, add to the mound, 55 bunches of weeds in the... Eat! I'm not neglecting my duties, I swear. I was in need of a little break, you see, but then I found myself unable to relax at all, so I went on a walk, and then I noticed these weeds, and... Pleasant conversation, partners. And oh so fuzzy. Goodness me, that does sound like a much better way to relax. Concerns? Nay, there's no point in worrying at this stage. It'll only make the work go that much slower. That much the slower. This woman seems to be coping well. Hello. Apologies, but I am awaiting a delivery. Whatever it is, we'll have to wait. It seems this gleaner's too busy to chat for his benefit or otherwise. Lefty! Hi, buddy. Do a little spinny. Yay. I need to find one more I found him. Next to the Vex Veterinarian. Can I jump up? Nope. Lefty, you failed me with your ups, buddy, but you're fine. Don't worry about it. Just leave me to my misery. The forum can appoint someone else. I apologize. I simply don't know what to do. How am I supposed to pilot the Ark if I'm already falling apart under the pressure? You know a starship pilot that I might speak with, truly. Well then, there's no time to waste. They can help me prepare for this monumental task. Oh, hefty now. Woo! Oh, I need to find one more person still? Ah, there we go. How might I help you? My, what a lovely idea! I too noticed people becoming rather tense, so I rushed out to pluck some fresh and fragrant tea leaves. Now I need only track down 100 or so cups. But don't you worry, I can manage. I hope your plan to cheer everyone up goes well. This woman is doing better than you are. Oh, Jesus. That's what it was. Because when you chat to people that are fine, it doesn't count. Is there anyone in the building? Well, apparently not. Nope. This is Ark, by the way. This is the other boss monster that you can get for amount from Final Fantasy IX. Come on, oh, there it is. The end of the world is nigh, yet the work goes no faster. Schedules are such temperamental things, feasible one moment, utter bollocks the next. And yet, I've never felt so alive. This one is beyond your help. Only sleep can save her now. Damn it! Stop giving me red herrings. Just give me the last person already. Alright, I think I checked up here already. I was kind of hoping that would have been my last person. I just want to get to a voice-acted point so I can eat some quackos. So hungry. They can't be outside, they have to be in this area. Can you go inside the buildings? You can. Crud muffins. That means I should probably go inside these buildings to double check. Can't go into that one. Can't go into that one. I might just have to look it up. Give me a second. Sage Council. Alright. Alright. Ha. Have you heard anything of what's on the moon? I have no doubt we can make it up there, but the searching for a new star part of the plan sounds awfully vague to me. I asked the forum, but they will only tell us that our collaborators have everything under control. Forgive me, but I don't feel particularly safe wandering through the sea of stars on gods know what, made by gods know who. You mean to say that I can speak with them directly? Amazing. I hope they like questions. I'm so glad that fixed quickly. Please, Orianjay. Please go voice acting so I can eat. Behold, hero. Through thine efforts, word has spread throughout Labyrinthos. Verily to a far greater number than we anticipated. Living Way doth gather more Loporrits as we speak. I shall assign each in accordance with their skills, that new bonds of friendship might be forged. Should greater matters require not thine attentions, watch over them, I prithee.
spoken so much in, well, in forever.
Lively, isn't it? The town is abuzz. Everyone eager to meet with our friends from the moon.
Twould behoove you to consult with Sleeping Way. As our moon's pilot, his advice should be most pertinent.
I'm impressed. Truth be told, I struggle to tell one from another. No offense intended, of course.
None taken. After you and your friends left Mare Elementorum, we spent no small amount of time with your Urianger. Oh, the conversations we had. He told us all about Atheris, answered our every question, no matter how trifling or trivial. Look! Every page filled to the margins with knowledge. When I first arrived, I was struck by how little I knew. It was daunting. But then I realized that were it not for Urianger and his teachings, we'd still be stuck on the moon, gazing at your world and wondering what we've been missing.
What would they think if they could see Urianger now? I dare say they'd be more than a bit surprised. And impressed, no doubt. Master Louisoix, Minfilia, Papalimo, and not to forget.
No.
Oh there. Heard there was a visiting expert who we might bother with a few questions. I take it you'd be the one.
Yes, I am.
Wilson and Blovida, Charlian's foremost researchers in the field of teleportation magic, and Moonbreeder's parents.
It hath been some time. 'Tis good to see you in good health.
Likewise, old friend. Blovida and I were most honored to answer the call. Never expected this reunion, though, did we, dear?
I'll say, the nerve. Sending that letter, then running off to the gods know where. Do you have any idea how worried we were?
I'm sorry. 'Twas remiss of me not to deliver the news in person. No, more than that. 'Twas I who...
Our daughter was disillusioned after Master Louisoix left her behind. The day the Scions called upon her was the happiest I'd seen her in years. She made her every choice of her own free will. No one could have ever forced her to do otherwise. Don't blame yourself for her death. Celebrate her life. You know that's what she'd want.
If there is one thing we resent you for, it was that we could not be there to mourn her with you. Reading the words you penned in that shaky hand, we must have cried as much for you as we did for her.
I'm sorry. I truly am.
Ah, man. The feels.
I knew not what to say. Knew not how to express my feelings. The poems and platitudes of wiser men, musings on sadness and loss, studied and memorized. and meaningless in the moment.
Silly boy. We are all powerless before such grief. Even now, try as I might, the words escape me. But in our hearts, we know. We always know.
I remember when you were young, how the lads teased you for choosing the company of books over others. Our moon didn't take kindly to that. Be nice to Urianger, she'd shout, and give them a walloping. No matter how many times we scolded.
So we offered a suggestion. Rather than starting fights, why don't you be the bridge between Urianger and the others? She had to mull it over for a while, arms crossed, brow furrowed in intense thought. But from that day on, she never let you be alone. She'd drag you outside to play, pepper you with endless questions, read the same books you read, all to try and understand you that much better. I'm sure it was annoying and exhausting at the time, but she only ever had the best of intentions.
And look at you now, at the center of the crowd. The reason there even is a crowd, having brought these people together. You've no idea how proud we are.
To see the boy, our daughter, trusted and believed in more than anyone, grow into the man she always knew he could be. I can see her in you, too. Feel her. She walks with you wheresoever you go. So thank you, Urianger, for being who you are.
I think I can feel her too. The truth of her life. Not sorrow, but hope and love.
This moon breeder, she was important to him, wasn't she?
You could ask the man himself.
Oh, no. But watching this exchange reminds me how much I've yet to learn about your world. And its people.
You can live here your entire life and hardly learn a thing. And that's why it's too soon for this to end.
Oh, hero. Be assured that I am fine. I am. Oof. Sorry. Feels. Well, glad to see them too after so very long. Gladder still that it was in your company. As difficult as it was to accept their kindness, 'twould have been far harder had I faced them alone. Hither in yarns. Thou hast my gratitude for lending courage to the Loperates. Not disposed to the rest of on their laurels. Several of our guests have elected to accompany my countrymen to their stations. Some few may still come hither seeking counsel, and so I shall remain to aid them as need be. If thou art needed elsewhere, do not let me detain thee. As a matter of fact, I was hoping you might check on Alice. Last I saw, she was struggling to carry an enormous pile of boxes out the west gate. I could go myself, but we both know whose help she's less like to scorn. Not to mention that, much to my misfortune, I could think of several other things I ought to be doing. Until later. Excuse me. That was the uh-oh that I mentioned earlier for when I was like, oh, we're gonna go to this area, and I'm like, uh-oh. So, like, I remember that part. We're culminating on some other uh-ohs, too. Hero, what are you doing out here? No, I don't mind if you help with the boxes, but it's far from the most exciting of tasks. Are you sure? Yeah, sure. Well, I appreciate the assistance. We need to get these to Aporia. Time is short, of course, but they're full of organic specimens and samples, so try not to be too rough with them. Alphino should be waiting for us when we arrive. I'll see you there. Deliver the crate of samples to Alphino. You will have 3 minutes to complete the task. Should you fail, return to the starting location and begin anew. Can I sprint? No, I cannot. I could jump, though. And I can't fight either. So I have to dodge everything. I wonder if I could have put jog on earlier. And have it stick. I'm almost halfway through 91. At this rate, by the time I get the next dungeon unlock, I'll be able to push 92 once I finish that dungeon. We won't be able to get to the dungeon this run, though, sadly. Oh, you're helping with the crates? Wonderful. You can put that there with the others. You have my gratitude, but how did you come to be involved in this? A few people told me. Then I suppose I have Thancred to thank as well. If you're wondering why we were tasked with bringing these boxes to Aporia to begin with, so was I. It turns out that this is a base of operations of sorts. Those with final say as to what is included in the ship's manifest could be found here. Father included, I suspect. That should be everything. You carried all that at once? Are you trying to injure yourself? Oh hush, they're lighter than they look, and not everyone has your delicate arms. I suppose we should let someone know that we finished. Theopaldin is in the courtyard. We can report to him. Why don't you come along? You should get credit for your assistance at least, considering where we are. We might even learn something interesting. Sure, that works. I might keep the augmented credendum look. I might not dye it, or I mean not dye it, but I might not glam it. God, it never ends, does it? What can I do for you? We brought samples from Charlie and Hamlet, Series 110. The crates are over by the entrance. Thank you. I had expected one of my colleagues, but we are dreadfully short-handed. Just a moment. You are Fortunal's children, are you not? Alphino and Alice at your service. You're well acquainted with Father, I take it. Quite. I've been friends with your parents since our days at the studium. I remember when you were ye-high, waddling hither and thither. Clearly, it's been quite some time since we've met. 'Tis good to see you again, wielding your father's nolus, no less. You knew our parents when they were young? What were they like? Pray spare no detail. I should like nothing more than to regale you. Alas, I am meant to be in charge here, and reams of paperwork want for submission. We can help with that, in exchange for the sort of stories our parents would never willingly divulge, of course. Very well then. There happen to be 3 sets of documents in need of delivery, so how about you each take one? Wait right there. You will find a forum representative waiting to collect these near the southernmost structure. I hope I haven't kept her waiting too long. Never mind Alphino and Alice. I'm certain they will be back soon enough. Are you not one of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn? I thought you were meant to be working on the Aether Burner. Theopaldin's paperwork. I was beginning to worry he had misplaced his quill. I appreciate your help in seeing these documents to my hands at last. As for your other task, pray keep this between us, but I sincerely hope you Scions succeed. The Exodus is, without a doubt, the most monumental undertaking in the history of the Forum, and so you must be circumspect in all respects. Risk is a privilege we cannot afford ourselves. At its heart, however, Charlian has ever been a nation of the curious. 'Twould be a tragedy indeed if we were the ones to stymie your pursuit of truth. Well, thank you. I appreciate your candor. Quick and efficient. I dare say you have a talent for this work. The twins' papers only needed to be delivered to elsewhere in the facility, so they should be returning any moment. We return with not a scrap of paperwork remaining on our persons, you will note. You both have my thanks, and my apologies for sending you on an errand far below your ambitions. Why, even as a babe, you struggled out of your swaddling clothes, and... That is quite enough of that, thank you. It was compromising stories of our parents that we'd asked to hear, to reiterate. Of course, of course. I've known your father for so long, I must have something. Well, as you know, part of why the Levier name garners such respect in Charlian is your family's storied history. You too can trace your ancestry directly to those who came aboard Youngprep's Hope, a lineage few can claim. I've never thought much of it myself. It's not as though our forebears founded our nation. They were simply there when it happened. Nevertheless, it has traditionally been a point of pride. 'Tis why Youngprep's pronouncement, renounce the ways of war and pursue enlightenment through knowledge and reason, has ever been our family's creed. Until your grandfather's time, Archon Louis Sois looked not to Youngprep's words, but his deeds. He asserted, in defiance of his peers, that choosing to save the great and the small from the rising tides was the true mark of our founder's virtue. Perhaps it was his expertise, his knowledge of ancient prophecy and the fall of civilizations, that led to him to conclude that to eschew conflict at every turn was to consign mankind to his doom. There will ever be conflict and calamity will follow, thus. To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. You remember his words well. Indeed, Archon Louis Sois lived by that personal creed, and used every means at his disposal to bring succor to those in need, Charlian or no. I would have loved to have seen an echo reenactment of that actual like conversation, but I don't think we ever get it. I don't remember it. No one loved and admired your grandfather more than his son. Yet Fortunel could not reconcile Louisoix's deeds with the philosophy of their forebears and his peers, a philosophy in which he believed so fervently, yet made a pariah of his father. Fortunel agonized over this contradiction for much of his life. God's father. A son may carry his father's blood, but his choices are his own to bear. Is it not always thus? Gods know Fortunel's a cranky old goat, so I'm sure you butt heads often enough. Yet even so, you must know that you are constantly in his thoughts, every moment of every day, and that is not an exaggeration in the slightest. I need a drink. Should have seen him when you were born, barely recognizable. He was with the kind of dumbfounded grin I'd not seen since he first took a fancy to your mother. He was practically skipping when he told me the news. Take my word for it, he loves you to an embarrassing degree. But he is also frustratingly single-minded. Once he's decided that a given action is for the best, he will stay the course no matter who or what opposes him. Actually, he's more like Byakuya. I think I've already said that, though. A profoundly annoying habit when you're on the other end of it, as I'm sure you will agree. I'll say. Thank you for your insight. When next we meet our parents, I shall mention that we spoke. Try not to get me into too much trouble now. I need the forum on my side. Speaking of which, I ought to be getting back to work. I have to make sure those specimens you brought make it to their proper places, or the cranky old goat will have my hide. We can speak again later. I like as you advance. Hail, you three. Graha, surely Kokol hasn't driven you out of the forge already. For better or for worse, no. However, he has set me a task that requires more than my single pair of hands, and here you are. I could use at least one of you, but I won't object to more. Unfortunately, Alice and I have prior commitments, and we have delayed too long as it is. What about you, hero? Could you spare the time? Sure. Time's 2:26 right now. Perfect. That shouldn't take too long. I completely lost my train of thought. Oh wait, I love how like as you progress the storyline, the environment changes. Once forged, it's subtle. It's usually not like drastic. In the event that our, and I quote, promised heap of adamantite falls right out of the bloody sky and into my lap, Master Kokol wishes to be ready to put the proverbial hammer to anvil at a moment's notice. To fabricate these parts, however, he needs the flames in Kokol's forge to burn hotter. He sent me to increase the amount of aether being funneled to his furnaces. The flow of fire-aspected ether in Labyrinthos is regulated by an elemental reactor south of here, to which I have borrowed the key. The adjustment will require 2 people to carry out safely, but I can explain the process when we arrive. This is where we part, then. We'll see you in Charlie and Hamlet once the adamantite arrives, if not before. This way, then. Alright, Lefty. Take me to the... Excuse me. Take me to the fire aether forge, or distributor. There we go. Almost halfway to level 92. I will definitely take any and all XP I can get up to a certain point. Because then I'll have to swap classes. The reactor is housed within this facility. I'll be the one to go inside and adjust the fire aether output. When I do, a rather large amount of water-aspected ether will issue from the vent to the top. I expect this to attract at least a few elementals, which we would both rather not be drawn into the reactor itself. Trust me. Can I ask that you put down any that draw too near? They'll pose you little trouble, I'm sure. Sure, count me in. Wait here if you would. I just noticed that my jog didn't click in. Whoops. Did everything go smoothly out here? More or less. I thought as much. No major complications to speak of inside either. And the water ether appears to be venting properly. I expect Coco will have seen a difference in his forge flames by the time I return. Since I have you, there was another matter I thought to discuss with you. Nothing terribly important, merely something I've been considering. Part of this I shared with everyone, yet you and only you have been to Elpis. As we have established, refined adamantite is a product of Elag, one of the Empire's twilight years, in fact. It was a material which sought much use as part of the Alagon's efforts to extend beyond the bounds of this world, Dalamud, of course, being the most prominent. Of those who would push further, expand Elag's empire to encompass the heavens and the stars above, perhaps the greatest was its infamous technologist, Amon. Pandaniel. And then Amon wanted to travel the Sea of Stars. He did. He must have had his own reasons, however, for there is no evidence to suggest that he retained memories of his life as an ancient. He only joined the Ashians once the Empire was all but dust, as you know. If not his memory, though, what drove him to pursue the idea with such fervor? This may seem far-fetched, but what if souls like minds have a personality, so to speak, a natural disposition towards which they are inclined? We know with relative certainty that it was the gross decadence and inexorable decline of Elag that moved him on to resurrect Emperor Zandi. The Empire's people spoke lightly of death and destruction, experimenting on those they deemed beneath them to fill the emptiness in their hearts. Ooh, that does give a huge dichotomy to the ancients, doesn't it? In facilitating Zandi's return, Amun provided these languid souls with the means to free themselves from the mire of their own indolence. Or would have, had not Zandi been convinced of his own death that life itself was meaningless. Amon's desire for his countrymen to conquer the heavens could only be a means to the same end, to instill the people with new purpose. Sorry about that, I had to make a cough to clear my voice. Like Hermes before him, Amon was appalled by how those around him lived, but could never bring himself to believe that those lives were devoid of meaning. And both of them sought that meaning, that hope, in the distant stars. Such is my theory, anyway. And it's not a game theory. Ultimately, it is the consequences of their actions which matter. Their motives are of no moment, and yet... To reach those stars on wings of adamantite, to travel to the ends of creation and beyond, the promise of hope everlasting, that much I do understand. But enough musing for now. Why don't we see how Coco is getting on? Sure. My bags are fast filling again. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to get to the next dungeon in this part, because it's about to end. I know I'm already overclocked. Whew, I can feel those flames ablazing from here. Glad you found someone capable, Graha, but there's not much left for you to lot to do. Unless you can conjure up that refined adamantite any faster. Bonds of adamantite. I do trust you to deliver on your promise. I do, only... I hate waiting. I want that adamantite, and I want it now. We share your impatience, I assure you. Is there truly nothing else we can assist with in the meantime? I wish. The sitting about's unbearable. Pity the Forum frowns on recreational explosions. Well, so long as they can't prove it was premeditated. Get you gone, I've mistakes to make. In that case, I suppose I should go and return the key to the reactor. I'll have one more look to make sure that nothing has gone wrong, unintentionally or otherwise. I'm certain there are better uses for your time, however. I will join you in Charlie and Hamlet anon. Lefty! We're getting closer and closer to hitting 70 million gil on this character. Yes! And then on my main, I've got like 161 million, and then the free company that she owns has like another 125 million. So, I'm like a Scrooge McDuck in this game. I can swim in a vast sea of gil. Technically, I've gained 19 million since I started this character because I gave myself 50 million just so I could get a mansion as soon as one cropped up. I could vote at least. Gods, if I could actually capture a mansion for myself, that would be quite the lady luck kiss indeed. We got one from the FC, which is way easier than a personal one, because the personal one you can only vote for once at every cycle. You can do FC votes for as many as you have people and money. If you wait here, your companions are bound to turn up sooner or later. Yes, let's wait. So I've got a bunch of votes. And we already have a mansion. I just want to move it over to Mist, because Mist is the better spot, in my opinion.
All set, I take it?
Mm-hmm.
We finished what we could. Delivered supplies, tracked down escaped animals. Trivial tasks as they may be.
That's enough, don't you think? If there was anything more important still undone, that would be a problem in itself.
The vessel is essentially ready for departure. All that remains is to load the final batch of supplies and see everyone on board. Once we've readied the ether burner, that is.
Ah, had a feeling we might find you all here.
I actually do kind of like the shape of the axe.
Our consultations with the Loperites, too, have run their course. Pleased I am to say that our researchers' concerns have, for the most part, been allayed, though some insist on making adjustments to the very end. For their part, Livingway and her peers have graciously offered to stay and keep the people company, lest any lingering queries go unanswered.
All that remains is to wait for the refined adamantite.
Alphino, are you there? It's me, Cryo. Your special delivery has arrived. Round up everyone and come to the harbor at once.
Speak of the devil. Let us go at once.
Forgive the intrusion, Master Fortuner. I bring urgent news. A great commotion has broken out in Scholar's Harbour. Your presence is requested, with all speed.
It's everyone bringing the spoils.
Now, where might this delivery be? Oh.
I think that's more than enough.
I'm sure it's very important, but we cannot accept these without the proper permits.
By the 12! Surely, these can't all be.
Bleeding hellfire! They're bringing them by sea and by air. All these folks in these crates.
Mm-hmm.
And more on the way. You've got your adamantite right here. A bigger haul than any of these sorry bastards brought, and that's no lie.
Yes, because you were charged with seeing the shipments from Gridania and Uldar here, along with your own. Give credit where credit is due.
Sounds like the sorry whinging of a sore loser. An hypocrite to boot. Ain't no way a scrawny whelp like you took a dozen steps inside a Dalamud shard.
I'll have you know I went all the way to the entrance. I played a vital role in keeping a lookout whilst our expeditionary forces secured the adamantite.
Left you outside so you wouldn't get anyone killed, did they? Well then, credit where credit's due, you did a right fine job sitting on your ass.
Take that back.
Make me.
I will not stoop to your level.
My, what a grand welcome party.
Hancock and Saraban.
We come bearing relics both sacred and Allegan, as well as a few other gifts that may be of help, to be presented with best wishes from the Eastern Alliance. And we brought a number of items from Eureka as well, courtesy of one Ejika Zunjika. He says a little advance warning would have been appreciated by the by.
I myself have come with a sacred relic of the Kojin. Upon learning of your need, Bunchin bade me deliver it on behalf of the Blue with all haste. Fearing I could not swim here with the necessary speed, however, I thought to beg our Confederate allies for aid. To my delight, Hancock was already preparing for departure at the self-same port, and had space for additional cargo.
We did, of course, need quite the impressive vessel to get it all here in time.
That is all wonderful to hear, but what of the extraordinary cost? I shudder to think of the ransom we must pay for such a bounty.
Fret not for your coin purse, young Alphino. Lord Lolorito looks ever towards the profits of the future, and thus the East Aldenard Trading Company went to some lengths to reduce the financial liability. And since the Scions funded the entire venture, not a gill need be rendered up in compensation. Everything is already yours.
We funded the venture? When?
Don't let the name fool you. This coinkeeper knows a thing or two about spending.
Tataru.
When it comes to capital investiture, a sprinkling of gil here and there will not do. You need enough savings to make waves when it really counts, which is why frugality is paramount. We also had the benefit of a generous patron. Generous being rather an understatement. She has supported us from the shadows since the very founding of the Scions. We even had coffers to fill.
Mother!
You were undermined.
I remain, of course, an entirely neutral party. I simply thought our family's coffers were needlessly full. We can hardly take them with us on your teeny-tiny toy boat, now can we? And would be ashamed to leave all that hard-earned wealth unspent. Waste not.
However did you manage so much in so short a time, then? We expected word to reach only a fraction of our allies.
Did I not tell you I have my ways?
Ah, yes, Arenville.
Erenville! You were involved too.
I received a letter from Cryle after we parted ways in Labyrinthos. She explained what the Scions were trying to accomplish, and why you might soon require the services of the Gleamers, spread across the world as we are. I pray you do not interpret this as a betrayal of Charlie. I accept that the Forum's aim in pushing us to our limits was to preserve what knowledge we have, and I bear you no ill will for it. Yet, in collecting that knowledge, what I came to appreciate most about our star is that there remains so much we do not know. That is why I chose to help the Scions, to combat the obliteration of those countless undiscovered wonders. I held no illusions that they would be less demanding taskmasters. Though, rest assured, if I had, I would have been sorely disappointed. To make a long story short, the whole of the guild ship cooperated to ensure your call was heard far and wide.
Sid! Nadana! Ooh, we got everyone.
What's this about a ship that can fly to the moon? And why didn't you mention it sooner? The one time you don't beg my aid, your problem's a bloody ship that can fly to the moon.
Look who's in the back.
Sid, you brought the team. Of course. Garland Ironworks' finest. You need only point us towards my new favorite ship.
As you like as not suspect, we've also brought adamantite for Mordona's Dalamud shard.
Sweet.
I admit to some consternation upon first receiving Kryle's message. So few Scions remain at the Rising Stones now. Far too few for such an expedition. However, the Gleaners were able to secure us reinforcements. Idleshire's treasure hunters, not least among them.
Fascinating as all this is, I fail to see how it explains your presence here. Does Razat Han not have more pressing concerns?
We do. Yet averting the final days would be the most expedient solution. That, and I am indebted to you. Though they chose to take their leave of Thavnair, those you saved in Galimund remain my people. My gratitude is beyond words. 'Tis appropriate that I aid you in kind. If in the doing we bring salvation to others of this star, so much the better. You will recall that I spoke of my father, Midgard Summer, and his journey across the great expanse. As he traveled betwixt the stars, his resplendent scales drank of the ether in those nigh empty surrounds, and imparted to him the strength to persevere. Thinking they might further your cause, I called out to my kin for consent. Ajdaya's answer was silence, as ever.
Ah, that's what that call was.
Tiamat and Chrisvelgre, however, responded favorably to the suggestion. My sire, too, gave his assent. Thus have I brought you his own worm scales. Fit them to your purpose, and seek a worthier fate for us all.
You'd be hard-pressed to find someone else so familiar with the unique properties of dragon scales. So I invited myself along.
Fuck me, this is so unbelievable. I've gone right back round to believing it again. If we get a 6% gain in efficiency, with all these goodies, we could get 7, no, 10, no, 14 bleeding percent. Think of how far we could go. What we could do with that much power. What we could blow up.
If Kokol is duly convinced, then it must be true. In which case, the Scion's end of the bargain has been fulfilled. Would you not agree?
Yes, Father?
I know not what you seek of Hydaelyn, nor for what purpose you would take command of our ship. Yet this much is certain. To do so will be to dictate the fate of this star and the lives upon it. The lives of each and every creature, in their magnitude and their fragility.
You still have the backup to go to Garlemald and use the teleporter to get people right to the moon in seconds.
Do you understand? And are you prepared?
We have seen and we have felt how much each life shapes this world. And so we are determined to abandon none. We understand what is at stake, and we are prepared to bear this burden.
Then I will bear it with you. I beg you, share your struggles with me. As family. You grasped my fingers with such tiny hands the day you were born. I thought my heart might burst. It was love and happiness beyond expression. Overwhelming. And a conviction so powerful that I trembled with something close to rage. I had heard the final days foretold. I swore to myself then and there that I would not let them steal your futures. The great Exodus would succeed. Must succeed. No sacrifice or sin was worse than the alternative. If anything gave me pause, 'twas mine own father. The Archon Louisoix openly decried Charlian's policies, a perspective which I regarded with increasing disdain as I grew older. Yet even as part of me thought him a fool. Perhaps I also hoped that he, of all people, would devise a brilliant means to save my children. A naive hope. but stubborn enough that I could never bring myself to keep you apart. No, that was his doing. When he perished at Cartano, as we pulled that twisted slab of Dalamud from the sea, I remembered the warmth of your newborn touch. Chastened, I vowed never again to suffer any interference in my mission to protect you. No matter that you yourselves wished otherwise. Detest me, fight me tooth and nail, I would suffer it, and more, and be satisfied so long as I could force you onto the ship. I was wrong. You two have grown so much stronger and so much wiser than I dared dream. You have earned the right to walk your own path, and already begun to do so.
Good. Because there are things we care about, and people we love, and none of them is replaceable. Not a one.
It cannot have been an easy journey for you to have come so far.
We shall be glad to acquaint you with the finer details someday, once this danger has passed. All that we have seen and heard, that we have felt and learned in our travels. Ours is not a kind world, but it is beautiful. Always.
Oh no. Are you quite sure that's wise? After all, someone turns pale and flees the room when he sees so much as an envelope containing word of your adventures. Whatever will happen if he learns what you were really up to?
Amelians. Though I have wronged my children most gravely, I owe you an apology as well. I assumed that it was the Scion's influence that made them so keen to charge headlong into danger. Yours, in particular. I see now that said influence instead brought them together with the many fine people gathered here today. In which case, I hope you continue to guide them.
If we finish loitering about the harbor, might I suggest we put our plans into motion? People are beginning to look confused.
Perhaps you can spare a few words ere they resume the tedious lugging of cargo. You've no small number of friends and admirers here, after all.
I gotta pick now. Nero, that was his name. Skulking about the shadows. Lend us your strength, our moment of triumph is close at hand, and with me. Our moment of triumph is close at hand.
Your assistance is appreciated. Now, in an orderly fashion, if you please.
We're gonna finish this mission and we're gonna call it. We finally managed to clear the harbor, which means the rest is in the engineer's capable hands. Meanwhile, Father has issued to us an invitation. As was agreed, he will reveal the means by which Heidelin may be contacted. We are to meet him at Emporia when we're ready. Given the vital knowledge she holds, I suggest we leave without delay. It transpires, however, that the Forum's method for speaking with her is not without risks. I'm curious to hear what those might entail, but regardless, be warned. Most of those who arrived with the adamantite have offered to stay and see to any remaining tasks that need doing. The Forum has already asked for my assistance in overseeing the process, so you needn't worry about a thing. Thank you, Tartaru. We're off to Aporia then. Got a little lost. I love how you stand in water. Hero, I have already shown the others inside. You will want to speak with Clarelane. She has the key to the lift. You can send her, she can send you down after me. You're with Master Fortunal, yes? Just step inside the lift there. Yep. Ready. From here, we proceed to the heart of Labyrinthos and its most closely guarded secret, Thaumazein. It marks the beginning and the end of our efforts. Whence we delve to seek audience with the star, and whence we will embark on our journey to the heavens. This way, if you please. I'm now in the innermost circle. Ah, the teeny tiny toy boat. I bid you welcome to Thaumazein. Direct your attention towards its center to behold the ark over which we have long labored. As you can see, it was designed as a medium-sized craft, the better to reduce fuel consumption. Miniaturizing magics have been applied to its interior to ensure that the thrust-to-weight ratio does not place too great a limitation on its freight capacity. The Aether burner, as you know, has been removed for further modification, but we shall reattach it soon enough. I have received word that Kokol and several of your allies are working on it with an intense fervor. They are sure to see it done. 'Twas by their expertise that many a prior disaster was averted. If anything, I fear they will not afford us much time for speaking with Hydaelyn ere they finish. Point taken. Let us move on. I must warn you again, however, that even with the benefit of our device, to treat with her is not a simple feat. I have done what I can to impress upon you the gravity of what lies ahead. Are you prepared? I have 3 slots now. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and leave this here. We're going to continue on in the next part. Thank you all for watching. This has been part 155 of my live stream playthrough for Final Fantasy XIV. If you liked it, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not a subscriber to keep up with the content. Comment down below. Tell me what you think about the game and my gameplay, though no spoilers, please. And I'll see you in the next video. I'll be on in the next few minutes. I just need to get resituated. And we will knock it out of the park. We gotta do some stuff. We're gonna go far. Anyways, catch you then. Later.